Good evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Amelia Marquez. In tonight's news, we'll bring you Newsleaders on 6 exclusive coverage of Bonnaroo and tell you what to do if you think you might have unclaimed money being held by the Tennessee Treasury Department. We'll speak with Coffee County Emergency Management Director about security measures for this week's Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival. And we'll have these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
Dr. Credit here from Russell Barnett Kia. Are you needing a vehicle but don't think it's possible because of your current credit situation? Great news, it is possible. But don't just take it from me. Here's a few of our satisfied customers and what they had to say.
Not only did they take the time to get to know me and my wants, they found me someone to finance me with my bad credit and got me the car of my dreams.
Dr. Credit, come see him, he's great. He can help you. I know he can. He helped me.
Schedule your appointment with Dr. Credit at Russell Barnett Kia so you can drive away happy.
All I have to do is think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do,
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. The Tennessee Treasury Department returned a record amount of unclaimed property in 2016 to Tennesseans across the state, marking a 28% increase over the prior year. In total, 41,827 claims were processed in 2016, totaling more than $34 million with an average claim amount of $817. Unclaimed property is money that has been turned over to the state by businesses and organizations that cannot locate their original owner. Each year, millions of missing dollars are returned with the assistance of the Tennessee Treasury Department, helping get that money back to its rightful owners.
And while $34 million was returned in 2016, there's currently $789.2 million of money and property still waiting to be claimed. There's no expiration date for this unclaimed property in Tennessee, and it's held by the state until claimed by its rightful owner. If you think you might have entitled to some of this unclaimed property, you can visit the website at claimittennessee.com or call the Treasury Department at 615-741-6499. These unclaimed property services are offered by the Treasury Department free of charge, and fees are associated with processing a claim. Once a claim is received, the Treasury verifies its funds going to the correct person, with many claims being returned within 2 weeks of being submitted.
Honorary Alderman Ella Fanning was recognized at Tuesday's City Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting.
Ella Fanning. Ella used to be a Moore County Raider. Now she's a Tullahoma Wildcat. In fact, the family moved to Tullahoma. So that right there is a good thing. Now they can vote. Yeah. Now they can do these things. Her mother is one of our instructors at Tullahoma High School, an outstanding instructor. And the young lady here is next year's student body president for the upcoming school year, and that speaks very highly of her. The National Honor Society, Student Council, Mu Alpha Theta, Mayor's Youth Council. She plays varsity tennis, active member at the Grundy Street Church of Christ, plans to attend the University of Tennessee, or Hardeman University. I'm putting my word in for Hardeman, but that's okay. I asked her about Alabama and I didn't get an answer, so I guess that just gone. But anyway, but we are certainly, I mean, she's got a great attitude, not only that, but a great personality. Glad to have you here. Thank you.
Very nice. Well, Ms. Fanning, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, that sums it a lot. I really am just like a hometown girl, so like I want to come back to Tullahoma once I'm out of college. I like the hometown, and it's just a great environment, so I really appreciate the town. And I'm not interested in being involved in politics when I graduate college, but I really want to come back and serve my community.
Very nice. And what do you plan on studying in school?
Biomedical engineering as of now.
By the way, she has a 4.3 GPA.
So what does biomedical engineering person do?
It has a lot to do with like prosthetics and just trying to help people like that to be able, make their lives easier and in the medical field.
Very nice. Anyone in the audience that you would like to recognize at this time?
Well, there's my mother.
Very good. Well, if you'll stand there at your desk, we've got a certificate we'd like to present to you recognizing you as the honorary alderman.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Tullahoma City Schools Director Dr. Dan Lawson comments on the inclusion of civics in the school's curriculum.
I had a kind of an interesting blurb popped up recently. There was, I forgot how the complaint came up now, the fact that our kids were not able to pass a civics test. How does our system, how does our government work, you know? And one number I saw said that there was, and this didn't apply to Tullahoma, but in the system that was being looked at, something like 2% of the students were able to pass the test that was given to immigrants who are applying for citizenship.
Right, right.
And 2%. Whereas the immigrants were up in the 90s. So they're being taught and tested in the same direction. But that sort of got passed over as far as Tullahoma was concerned. There didn't seem to be any concern about it, and I don't know whether we have any way to measure it. It's just...
Not only do we have a way to measure it, we have a requirement that we must do so. In the General Assembly, I believe 2 years ago, legislation was enacted that said we have to have a test issued to our students. And Susan, I believe we've incorporated that in our government textbook and in some of the materials that we use. But that particular assessment is pulled, in fact, from the same question bank that our immigrants use to gain citizenship status. So we do have that test right now. It's a test that our students are compelled to pass before they leave high school.
Yeah. We'll be back in a moment with more Newsleader on 6.
Have you ever been involved in one of these? And you need one of these? Then look no further than the Russell Barnett Certified Collision Center. With a state-of-the-art facility, aluminum capabilities, lifetime paint guarantee, Russell Barnett Auto Rental, claims assistance from start to finish. We're here to serve you. So stop by and let us show you why we are #1, the Russell Barnett Certified Collision Center.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
Welcome back. Newsleader producer Philip Scoggins spoke with Coffee County Emergency Management Director Alan Lindley about what steps are being taken to ensure the safety of Bonnaroo fans coming to Coffee County this weekend.
Philip Scoggins here with Alan Lindley, Director of Emergency Management and Homeland Security for the area here. And I thought we'd talk to Alan a little bit and see Bonnaroo's coming up. So, so what all you're the guy who keeps everybody safe, right?
Well, I'm one of the many. We do the coordination and planning for the event from the emergency services side. So we've been working diligently since about mid-February on developing and updating the plans for emergency response at the event. Planning for anything. Anything catastrophic or day-to-day operations, it's all inclusive in the plan. So we've been working pretty hard since February.
Okay. Now, I know y'all are based outside of Bonnaroo, but do you have people inside to help people out?
Yeah, we do some ride-throughs and some different things at Bonnaroo's request. where we have folks just kind of roaming around to assist the folks.
Okay. Well, I know you guys keep track of the weather and all the impending storms coming through, and in June in Tennessee, you never know. So last year, when Senator was evacuated for about an hour, was that your call?
It was actually Bonnaroo's call. We had talked with them, been in contact with them throughout that event, but they actually make that call. We could, as a county government agency, but Bonnaroo is really good to work with, and they're very safety-minded.
They don't want anybody hurt.
Right. And so they take the information that we're giving them, and along with some other sources that they have, and then they make that determination.
Okay. Do you have a weather station set up at Bonnaroo?
We actually have a weather station, and then we do lightning monitoring. We actually have a lightning monitor here on our building that covers a 50-mile radius of this building. So we get alerts anytime a lightning strike happens within 50 miles of this building. And we feed that information to them because there's trigger points on their side of the house, depending on how close lightning is, as to whether they're going to evacuate or take the artists off the stage or things like that. And then we also in contact with the National Weather Service throughout the event. We get daily briefings from them every morning saying this is what the weather's going to be today. And then they pinpoint us. They're kind of busy during this time of year because the CMA Music Fest is going on as well at the same time. So they pinpoint on a map our location, and then they monitor heavily our location and Nashville's, along with everything else that they monitor.
So Manchester does get bumped up by the National Weather Administration during that time?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, I know everybody's saw the news last week of the Manchester bombing in England. Does that affect anything of security or how you react here this week?
Of course, we're always standing forward and vigilant. The Manchester, England thing, it was a little concerning. Obviously, any attack is concerning. But our public response agencies and Bonnaroo have always tried to lean forward as far as it was for security and safety of the patrons. So I don't think you'll see a lot of difference this year, security-wise, because it has been in a heightened state for so many years.
Yeah,
just for those various reasons.
Several years ago, it seems like they tightened up security out there, and people complain about it taking a little longer to get through and stuff, but there's a reason for that.
And folks just need to remember that it's for their safety that it takes a little longer.
It's not to pick on somebody.
Absolutely.
Exactly. All right, well, thanks. Good to talk to you.
Absolutely.
And have a good week.
Hope so.
More Newsleader on 6 is coming up after these messages.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. Tullahoma Mayor Lane Curley spoke to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen Monday night about details of this year's city budget.
The Board, Aldermen, and the citizens of Tullahoma. For the 15th time, I present a budget message and state of the city to you as mayor. I appreciate this opportunity to discuss the economic vitality of Tullahoma, as well as some of the achievements that have shaped our community the past year. I also will highlight some initiatives we have to look forward to in the coming year. I am pleased to report the city government of Tullahoma enjoys an AA2 bond rating, one of the highest in the state for a community our size. The city government once again had no audit findings. Your city government earned the GFOA Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Management. as well as the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award, one of the few cities in Tennessee to have that distinction. These are independent and objective measures of how your tax monies are managed and measured for financial soundness. This budget represents a fiscally conservative approach to manage the monetary affairs of city government. I appreciate the leadership of City Administrator Jody Baltz and Finance Director Sue Wilson for their professional approach in managing the fiscal affairs of city government. I also appreciate all department heads for their leadership and management of the day-to-day affairs in their departments. Now to the budget before you. This budget represents our best effort at preserving, managing, and building the assets of Tullahoma, whether these are people, buildings, or programs. I welcome the board's and citizens' suggestions and offers of improvement. The budget as proposed contains no property tax increase for the next fiscal year and is balanced. It also assumes no additional personnel. This budget does not appropriate additional monies for Tullahoma City schools. However, the school system will benefit from additional projected sales tax revenue for their general fund and sales tax sinking fund accounts. This fiscal year, the city government will continue to provide $600,000 in loan payments for the THS facility improvements in East Lincoln School. We must challenge our school board, administration, teachers, and staff and students to continue the excellent work within the financial constraints provided. The departments of city government made requests to improve or enhance services that will not be funded. Thanks to excellent financial stewardship, total operating expenditures are up less than 1%. I am pleased there is a 2% cost of living raise for all full-time city government employees, as well as a step raise. Also included is the city's share of the Duck River Electric Substation in the Joint Industrial Park. Thanks to a combination of factors, all good, the city government is in a position to secure a $5 million loan for several long-needed infrastructure projects to benefit the citizens of Tullahoma. These factors include moving light tube debt off the city's books, strong increases in retail sales and new construction, and efficient stewardship of city government expenses. I propose we use this $5 million loan to build a new police station and animal shelter, plus significant additions in permanent paving, new sidewalk construction, and park improvements. First-year debt service for the loan is included in this budget. The men and women of the Tullahoma Police Department have been using the existing station 24/7 since 1955. The building has not had a serious renovation in many years. It is old, outdated, and severely lacking in basic policing needs. In 1955, there were 12 police officers. Currently, there are 37 officers. There is no suitable interview or interrogation room or storage for equipment, weapons, and information technology. Alleged suspects, both adult and juvenile, are often seated in open areas visible to the public, and alleged suspects are often seated in areas where armed officers are moving around and police operations are discussed. The current facility has mechanical and electrical issues that are extremely difficult to repair due to the age of the facility and construction. Plus, the electrical and technology needs have far outdated the capabilities of the building without extensive installation and repair. These monies will construct a new station on West Grundy Street on land being donated by great community partners Fran and Dan Markham. This station will serve the policing needs of Tullahoma for many years and will be a facility of which we can all be proud. The current animal shelter was built in the 1980s. It is old and outdated. The small and dedicated staff and volunteers do an excellent job with the resources they have. It is time we build a new shelter and continue their good work. Last fiscal year, our no-kill shelter adopted out 173 dogs, an amazing number for a community our size. Thanks to the hard work of staff and volunteers raising money and the very generous donations of benefactors, the cost of the shelter will be considerably less. Ever since I can remember, we have appropriated $250,000 annually for permanent street paving. We need to do more to maintain 330 miles of roads in Tullahoma. A drive down many streets will confirm work needs to be done. Paving will be done in all 4 quadrants of Tullahoma. I propose we double the amount of street paving typically done each year. By far, the biggest request I've received from citizens is for sidewalks. It seems everyone loves sidewalks, and for good reasons. Sidewalks encourage neighbor interaction, fitness, and safety. Emphasis should be placed on adding sidewalks near schools and to connect existing sidewalks. This is also an opportunity to better develop our parks. My goal is for 90% of Tullahoma homes to be within 1/2 mile of a park, fitness trail, or equipment. The loan includes money to start developing our new East Lincoln Street Park, as well as improvements to Wagner Park and the park beside East Lincoln Elementary School.
We'll be right back in a moment with more Newsleader on 6.
Buying a vehicle can be hard. It's even harder if you have poor credit health. But let the team here with Dr. Credit at Russell Barnett Kia help you. With our guaranteed credit approval process, we can help you find your next vehicle. But don't just take that from me. Here's a few of our customers and what they had to say.
They said they could approve us, and then the next thing was how much monthly. I thought it was going to be way too much. And sure enough, he did it what we asked for, what we needed it to be. He did it within. He will help you out.
Schedule your appointment with Dr. Credit at Russell Barnett Kia so you can drive away happy.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's going to be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. Newsleaders Philip Scoggins and Andrew Todd are out at this unusually mild Bonnaroo, bringing us some of the sights and sounds of the festival.
I'm here with the Bonnaroo Works Fund, and the gentleman I'm speaking with today is JC, who's with Bonnaroo Works Fund. And JC, thanks for talking with us, man.
Thank you.
Tell us about what Bonnaroo Works Fund is all about.
Well, Bonnaroo Works Fund is a charitable extension of the festival itself. We specialize in donating mostly to local Coffee County charities, some national charities, and some specific music-related charities. Generally, arts, education, and children would be sort of the breakdown. This is our silent auction tent we hold here on-site once a year. We get a bunch of memorabilia, as you can see, posters, guitars, things signed by artists that are playing, and raise a bunch of money for local charities. It's simply the on-site manifestation of what we do. We definitely fundraise year-round in larger ways and generate revenue through portions of ticket sales and other things as well. This is the on-site representation of what we do.
Well, it's fantastic, and yeah, and like you said, just looking around at some of the memorabilia and the artwork and the photos you have here, it's fantastic stuff. And like you said, you're raffling these things off, right?
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of there are a bunch of items that are for silent bid. You bid online. We have raffles. You can see over here the Les Paul Foundation behind us has a daily raffle for a guitar. There's the Well Done Foundation over in the corner. So it's a variety of ways. Generally to get people to interact. People can come scan their festival wristband to enter a raffle, just to bring them in for 10 and see what we do. And then we provide them some nice air conditioning while they're here, browse around the different items. And you can go to the Bonnaroo app or the Bonnaroo website, and you go right to our auction site and bid live remotely. You don't even have to be here at the festival itself. So
wow, that's fantastic. And man, again, Bonnaroo that's what they strive for, is to give back to the area that they're in.
Right, I think most people in this line of work, meaning entertainment, music, etc., feel pretty fortunate to be doing what they do. Absolutely. And so there's a long-held tradition of giving back to people in areas that you play, so that you're not an impact on an area, but rather a benefit to it.
Absolutely.
And that's what we subscribe to.
Absolutely. And you guys excel at that. Excel at that.
Well, we try.
Well, you succeed, my friend. So, JC, again, thank you so much for talking to us.
Pleasure.
If people want some more information, I'm assuming they could just go to Bonnaroo's website, or is there any other, location?
It's real simple. The Bonnaroo website, you go to on the homepage, you click on Get Involved, drops you right down to the Bonnaroo Works Fund, and shows you what to do.
Excellent, excellent. JC, keep up the great work, man, and thank you for the air conditioning for a little bit.
No worries. Thanks for coming by.
Be sure to tune into next week's Newsleader and Living shows for more exclusive interviews and music from the 2017 Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival. We'll be right back with your weather forecast after these messages.
The Russell Barnett Automotive family has launched its new Owner Advantage program. It starts as simple as your first year's maintenance is included with the purchase. We have 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plans available. Car detailing, car rental, collision repair. Stop by one of our 5 locations and let one of our certified sales staff tell you all about it. The Russell Barnett Automotive Family Advantage Program. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
It's your trademark. That's something special everyone knows and remembers. It's your thing. It's made holidays special for decades, and summers unforgettable for the entire neighborhood. It's made everyone laugh every single time. Don't let illness or injury keep you from doing your thing. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Celebrate America's independence at Tullahoma Scenic Fraser McEwen Park, Monday, July 3rd. Gates open at 3 p.m. and world-class fireworks start at 9. This free event has music and fun for everyone. Tribute bands featuring the music of Chicago, Steely Dan, Tom Petty, and more. Plus, a kids zone, exotic animal petting zoo, food, fun, and games. Get the details at tullahomatn.gov/fireworks. Everyone is invited to enjoy the Tullahoma Kiwanis Independence Day Regional Celebration. July 3rd, Fraser McEwen Park, Independence Day Celebration and fireworks.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. The average high on this day is 84 and the average low is 61. Mostly clear weather expected tonight with a low of around 66. Mostly sunny weather in the forecast for Sunday with a high of 88 and a low of 70. Partly cloudy weather on Monday with a high of 87 and a low of 71. And a 50% chance of storms in the forecast for Tuesday with a high of 85 and a low of 72. Okay. And that's our Newsleader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for Newsleader on 6. You have a good evening.
And from all of us on Newsleader 6, wishes you and your families a beautiful weekend. Thank you.